Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and we have something super exciting to take a look at today because we finally have something new from Fossil Crates to put back here on the channel. It's been a little while since we had a review of a Fossil Crates product. I was super sold on all of the products that I had reviewed last time from them. There was just a ton of really cool fossil replicas that we took a look at here on the channel. However, this time what we have to review is yet another fossil replica, but it is a Tyrannosaurus Rex Skull. So it's something that I am extremely interested in seeing because their other fossil replicas that I looked at previously were excellent. Probably the best fossil replicas I've ever seen from any company ever. So I am very interested to see how this T-Rex skull looks. So let's go ahead and break this box open and take a look at it. So straight away, we get a very cool sack, just like we had the previous few reviews of the Fossil Crates products, and that is because included with your Tyrannosaurus skull is actually a Tyrannosaurus tooth, an upper jaw tooth of the Tyrannosaurus, and that's just something that comes with your skull, so that is awesome. Straight away you get a fossil replica of a Tyrannosaurus tooth, but you also get this, which quite clearly has that beautiful Fossil Crates logo right there on the front. And then once you open it up, you can see a very cool thank you note from Fossil Crates thanking you for your purchase. It says that you now own a piece of the past. Every tooth and claw is molded and cast from original material and then hand painted to match the color of the real bone. These are the same techniques I use when building skeletons for museums all over the world, so your purchase is literally museum grade. Super awesome. And then as we continue to move on here, this is an exact 1/8 scale resin replica of the famous Tufts Love Tyrannosaurus Rex skull made by scanning and 3D printing of the complete fossil. This specimen was excavated under a permit from the Hell Creek Formation of Montana from Bureau of Land Management. And the original specimen is actually on display, states right here, in the Burke Museum of Natural History and Culture, which is really cool. And then as we move on here, we have a really nice image of the skull itself, again giving you all sorts of information on the skull. And then we continue to move along here, and look at that incredible image of a Tyrannosaurus. That is just gorgeous. Absolutely love that image of the Rex. And this is one thing that I really love about Fossil Crates in general, is that they always give you so much bang for your buck. Like, you really get a lot of really cool stuff when you order a Fossil Crates product. And same deal here, another really nice image of a Rex skull. And then finally, yet another beautiful image. Lots of really cool artwork is included from Fossil Crates as always. So everything included as far as that goes is fantastic. So here is the base for our Rex skull. We also have a peg that we should slide in here, right in this spot, so that we can put our Rex skull on there. And then here is the Rex skull itself, which I have to carefully try to put onto this spot. And then there you go. Look at that. That is beautiful. Such a really nice and very appealing looking display piece overall. A gorgeous looking Tyrannosaurus Rex skull, and I cannot wait to get a closer look at this. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. So we will start with the tooth that is included, and you can see exactly what it is. Again, an upper jaw tooth of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then you have this really cool little card that gives you all kinds of information on the Rex, the tooth, and an image of the Rex tooth itself. And then on the back, a certificate of authenticity, which is always a great thing to have. And then you also have this disclaimer notice. But then taking a look at the actual tooth, look at that. That is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, as always, when it comes to a Fossil Crates product. This is such a beautiful cast of a Tyrannosaurus, and you can see exactly every little ounce of detail that was included on the original specimen. Again, as always, I state this every single time, has been brilliantly brought over within the cast. You can see every tiny little imperfection and crack and crevice that would be included on the original fossil of this tooth. It is included here in perfect fashion, and the paintwork as well is just perfection in every way. You could see, again, every ounce of detail on top of being perfectly brought through the casting process has been perfectly applied as far as the paintwork goes and brought out due to the paintwork. And you can see again, even back here, you can see many different variations of different browns and tans and everything. They've just put so much paintwork into the replica overall that, again, it literally looks like I'm potentially holding a real Tyrannosaurus Rex tooth right here. It's also got some pretty nice weight to it. It's nice and heavy, very high quality feeling overall, and I love these fossil crates, fossil replicas, and this Tyrannosaurus tooth is about as top of the line as you're probably ever going to find. But now, of course, the main attraction would be our Rex skull. And if we bring that up, wow, look at that. Once it just comes into view, it is just honestly jaw-dropping to look at. Again, just like I had stated with the Tyrannosaurus tooth, every ounce of detail from the original fossil specimen, the original skull, is perfectly brought through the casting process. Again, imperfections in the skull, areas where the skull might have been damaged and everything is just perfect within this. Look at this, is incredible. Look at that. Again, this is easily, just like I thought it would be, the best Tyrannosaurus skull that I have in my collection. I can tell you that straight away. It's just generally the best dinosaur skull that I have in my collection. This thing is just gorgeous, absolutely jaw-dropping. The amount of detail brought through is just unbelievable. This is just almost the type of thing that I don't even know if I should be talking. I almost should just be kind of leaning back and just showing you the whole thing and really just taking it in and staring in awe. It is that nice. And again, the paintwork is beautifully done as well. They always include so much paint on their skulls and their fossil replicas, and it really creates such a very realistic appearance to each and every one of their fossil replicas. And you can see that here with, again, lots of different variations of dark browns, tans, blacks. Everything seems to be included here as far as the paintwork on this goes. And look at the teeth. The teeth are beautifully displayed, very nicely painted as well, and they actually have, again, that same similar look as far as the paint to the initial Rex tooth replica that we looked at here. And you can see how it looks like it belongs in the mouth, of course, just at a much larger size right here. But again, it looks like it is exactly the same as these, but in a much larger size. And these teeth look great, and I love the fact that you can even see areas where like teeth are missing, like right here specifically. You can see a tooth is gone, knocked clean out of our Tyrannosaur's mouth. Yet another one right here. And again, very realistic aspects of being a theropod dinosaur like this. You're going to lose teeth when you're trying to take down prey. So it's, just another very realistic aspect of the skull itself. And again, they didn't clearly find these teeth when they initially excavated the original specimen. And that is exactly why we don't see the teeth here associated with this, because it is a perfect and exact cast of the original Rex specimen, but just obviously shrunken down now to a 1/8 scale. You can also see right here that this is a pretty darn new release from Fossil Crates, as it states 2020 right there. But the inside, again, looks just as amazing as the outside did. And the paintwork, I think, on top of the insane amount of detail included in this Rex skull, the paintwork just brings it all together and really makes everything pop and just look insanely, insanely realistic. This is definitely the best dinosaur skull in my collection. No questions asked. I could not possibly even bring forth any other dinosaur skulls in my collection to sort of compete with this. There's just no chance. This is unbelievably nice looking. And then you of course have the base itself, which has a beautiful nameplate right here on the front stating Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it's a very nice high quality base. You can see the underside has a little bit of information down here, a very cool wooden appearance to it as well. You also have these little circles right here that help to make sure it doesn't slide around or damage whatever you put it on, and it's also very nicely done, nicely painted with a black finish up here on the top. Very nice, got some decent weight to it, and very high quality overall. So that really just completes the entire set. But man, this Rex skull is unbelievable, and I am insanely happy now to have this in my collection. So once we actually have our Rex skull up here on the base, for a size, you can see the length is about the 6.5 inch range, or about 16.5 centimeters. And then for a height, if we go from the ground to the top of the skull, you are about 6 3/4 inches, or about 17 centimeters, somewhere in that range for a height. As far as the Rex tooth goes, for a length, you will see that come in at about 4 3/4 inches, closing in on 5 inches actually, or about 12.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon next to our skull and tooth replicas, and you can definitely see next to these figures that even at 1/8 scale, the Rex Skull still has some pretty darn good size to it. Really quite the sizable and very impressive piece is both the skull and actually that tooth. That tooth is really big, and you can see that in comparison to these figures as well. And the Papo Rex may not be such a bad companion piece to display with both the tooth and the skull right there, being a Tyrannosaurus himself, but hopefully next to these figures here, you'll have a pretty good idea of the fact that both of these do sport some pretty good size. So this Fossil Crates Tyrannosaurus Rex 1/8 scale skull replica and the Tyrannosaurus Rex tooth replica are both absolutely fantastic. Again, Fossil Crates never ceases to completely amaze me and blow me away with every product that I've ever looked at from them. It has been a continuing trend of me just kind of looking at them in awe, and that is once again exactly the same case right here. And I'm really psyched to actually be able to acquire a skull from the Fossil Crates line, because looking at all of the teeth and claws and everything that we had looked at previously, those were amazing. Truly some of the best pieces that I have in my collection, but to actually be able to get a skull replica of a dinosaur from Fossil Crates is, again, it's like next level awesome if you ask me. And this Tyrannosaurus skull, as far as the overall appearance, is just unbelievable. Again, the casting process of this skull and the tooth, it's just amazing how much detail they truly pull from the original specimen and bring it to us here in replica form, and it's just absolutely jam-packed with literally every ounce of detail that you would have found on that initial original specimen. And again, it is brought perfectly to us from Fossil Crates in both the skull and tooth replicas. And the paintwork of both, again, really brings the entire thing to life. The casting itself is awesome enough, but once you actually apply some paint to it, and the way Fossil Crates applies their paint, it's always so realistic. So many different tones of color that they use to it, all very realistic tones, and it is honestly expertly painted, each and every one of them. And that is always, again, one of the most impressive aspects, I think, overall. Like, the actual castings are always amazing, but a really amazing cast can still look good, but it doesn't go to great until you add some really nice paint application to it, and it really kind of ups the level of realism and ups the overall beauty of the replica. And that is exactly what you find with each and every one of the Fossil Crates releases, and that's exactly what I find with both this tooth and the Tyrannosaurus Rex skull here that you see before you. Again, the paintwork that they apply to their replicas, I feel like, is just kind of what takes these replicas from being very, very good to incredible. And Fossil Crates should really be commended on just the unbelievable work they do here with these replicas. So if you would like to pick this up, and trust me, if you're a dinosaur fan like I am, you do want to pick this up. I will include a link in the description to where you can do just that on the Fossil Crates website. And of course, if you order this Rex skull, you get that free Tyrannosaurus tooth. However, you actually get another extra for being a viewer of my channel. So make sure when you are checking out that you apply the code ANDY at checkout, and you will get yourself a free Velociraptor claw on top of a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull and on top of a Tyrannosaurus Rex tooth replica. You get all of that. Again, make sure you use the code ANDY at checkout to receive that free Velociraptor claw. So make sure you check the description. Head on over to Fossil Crates website right now. Again, a huge thank you for them allowing us to have that very cool code that allows you to get a free Velociraptor claw. And a huge thank you goes out to them for just being amazing and giving us probably the best fossil replicas that I'll ever see. So make sure you pick this up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.